You know what's funny is Jesus said, as in the days of Noah, when you look at the occult pagan ideology, they're looking at this Saturn's reign as a return to the golden age of pagan justice under Apollo, which is exactly what was happening in Genesis chapter 6. Guys, if you can lay out a timeline, now actually the timeline we have in the Masoretic text in the Old Testament is off by 2,000 to 3,000 years, thanks to Rabbi Kiba. Doug Woodward, in his book Rebooting the Bible, has done a very outstanding job of outlining that, and even how the Ante-Nicene fathers were noticing and claiming that the Old Testament was being tweaked to obfuscate who Jesus was, but they couldn't get to the Septuagint, and the Septuagint actually has the best timeline. And what's interesting, historically this is proven, because if you've ever talked to or heard secular archaeologists say, the Bible says this, but actually it happened 2,000 or 3,000 years later. You go back to the Septuagint's timeline, which was never tweaked by Rabbi Kiba, and all the archaeological discoveries line up perfectly with the Septuagint. One of them that concerns me is when you have ministers that just say a general statement, well, God can't take their life without God's permission. There's not a single, or Satan can't. There's not a single verse in the Bible that you can point to that. Okay? Now, there are situations like with Job. The only promise that Job predates Abraham, so he was that blessed in the city that he was at without the Abrahamic covenant. He had one promise of God. God would spare his life. God would protect his life. And in that whole confrontation, that never altered. All the other blessings and stuff were gravy that simply came because he was trying to walk with God. And so even with this whole thing with Job, there was a line because of the promise he had specifically. He had, his children didn't have, and he probably kind of wished there for a while his wife didn't have, because she told him to curse God and die, was specific to him.